Reminiscing Drinks. Written by the Witch Ash Rowan. Read by Arashi. So, is the beer cool, or do you want the sake? Kokichi asks as he rummages through a plastic bag. Maki watches disinterestedly from the other side of the table. I don't really care. Either is fine. This wasn't the answer Kokichi wanted, as he looks at her with wide eyes and furrowed brows. Huh? Oh, come on, you gotta choose. Maki looks at him, already feeling a headache coming on. Why does it matter anyway? Kokichi giggles at the question as he places beer in front of them along with some snacks to accompany the small dishes of food on the table. Because, Maki, we're getting drunk tonight. Maki looks at him with a deadpan expression. Oh, come on, Ma-chan, it'll be fun. Maki looks at the dishes before her. Kokichi had cooked them earlier, humming away in excitement while doing so. He had came over in the afternoon with bags in hand, proclaiming he wanted to hang out with her. Maki knew he was bored due to Kaede being away from home practicing for a concert, and him not having any organization-related meetings or missions left him with nothing to do. She was often one of the first people he would come to annoy when bored. Maki had long since grown used to it since childhood. He did promise he would cook for her, as well as provide entertainment. They had come back an hour ago from shopping, and stopping by a local cafe for desserts. She remembers him stopping to take a picture of her on his phone, no doubt posting it on Twitter. Compliments were already written about them not long after. She had to close the app before she turned red from embarrassment. Maki remembered Kokichi teasing her about Kaito seeing, causing her to threaten Kokichi with death, which he playfully ignores. We aren't getting drunk, Maki says simply as she grabs a can of beer. Kokichi pouts as he grabs his own. Oh, why not? You're such a buzzkill. Maki opens the beer and held it in the air before saying, Just shut up. Kokichi giggles, already back to smiling. Nishishi? The two clang their beer cans together before cheering, Kanpai! They both take a sip of their beverages at the same time. Time passes by. The cans become half empty, food starts to disappear. Maki takes another bit of chanja, savoring the taste despite tutoring cold from exposed to the air. Kokichi hums a tune as he chews on a rice cracker. His face suddenly lights up, making Maki cautious of what he's about to ask. Hey, let's talk about our love lives. This was not what Maki had expected to be asked of Kokichi. Kokichi was not usually the type to talk about romance, often feigning that it was gross and boring. That's strange coming from you. Why ask? Maki asked, to which Kokichi shrugs. Just felt like it, I guess. He takes another sip of his beer before resuming. So, how are things with Kaito-chan? Maki answers simply, the same. Kokichi gives Maki an irritated look at the answer. Of course he wouldn't accept a simple answer. Boring! That's not fun at all. Nothing exciting happened. Nothing romantic. Red paints Maki's cheeks, which doesn't go unnoticed by Kokichi. Ooh! You're blushing. Did something happen? Was it something spicy? Maki's blush deepens in color as she glares at Kokichi. Shut up. It's none of your damn business. Kokichi does the opposite as he leans forward on the table. Come on, tell me. What happened? Did you go on a fancy date? Did he take your breath away? Kokichi seems to get a right guess as Maki looks downward, her ears now red as well. Several seconds pass before she mutters out, Psst. Despite the inaudibility, Kokichi managed to pick up some words. Huh? What'd you say? I couldn't hear you well. Kokichi leans in to hear her as he speaks to her teasingly. You have to speak louder than that, Ma-chan. This causes Maki to shoot back up, almost bumping into Kokichi. She glares at him heatedly, with her face completely red as she screams out loud. He took me to go ice skating, okay? Kokichi recoils from the outburst, but stays steady. The reaction pleased him as he claps his hands together once. Ooh, how cute! How was it? Did you two fall on your asses? Of course, Kokichi wouldn't be satisfied until he got the complete or fuller story. Maki stares at the white walls as she takes a bite of a rice cracker. Her glare never leaves her face, but it's softened a bit. It was nice. The night skating around an ice rink passes through her mind, both dressed warmly in coats and boots for the occasion. Maki glides through the ice with ease. Kaito, however, fumbles with every step. Maki laughs at the sight, choosing to help Kaito keep a steady balance. Kaito laughs and thanks her while they hold hands, causing Maki to blush. Kaito got the hang of it over time, neither letting go of the other's hand. Not that Maki was complaining. Skating the night away while holding her boyfriend's hand felt like a secret dream. Aw, it must have been so romantic. Were you smiling there? Kokichi coos, breaking Maki out of thought. Do you want to die? Kokichi laughs at the threat as he munches on an eihirei. Nah, I'm good. Maki takes a stick of yakitori and bites down on the meat, savoring the flavor. It helped ease away the embarrassment she felt. Taking another swig of beer afterwards helped as well. So, what about you? She asks after a minute of silence, stopping Kokichi from taking another bite of his yakitori. Huh? He resumes to eat his food while Maki gives him an expected look. You and Kaede. Don't think you can dodge this. Don't lie either. You know it won't work on me. Kokichi pouts at that fact, Maki being one of the only few to not be easily fooled by Kokichi's usual lies. Well, if you must know, Kaede took me on a fancy dinner date at a jazz club. Kokichi smiles innocently. The sexy sounds of the saxophone combined with the strumming of the bass still plays in Kokichi's mind. It surprised him a bit that Kaede would take him to a jazz club when it wasn't one of Kaede's favorite genres of music. It was Kokichi's. He recalls dancing with Kaede. Both their dresses swayed to the symphony of brass and strings as they laughed in glee. Not much really happened. We just danced and drank wine. It was quite boring, really. I swear the music always put me to sleep. Kokichi lies, hiding his happy memory away. Something happened, didn't it? You're smiling like an idiot, Maki points out. It was Kokichi's turn to blush being caught. Like I said, nothing really happened. Maki didn't show it, but she was internally smirking. Liar. Kokichi smiles innocently as the color of his cheeks died down, but pink still remained. Fine. I'll take back that figurine I got for you. At the mention of his figurine being confiscated, Kokichi cries out in childish fear, No! Don't be mean, Maki! Then tell the truth. Kokichi puffs his cheeks up. Fine. You're no fun. Kokichi's blush returns as he recounts what happened. She, played a... What was that? I can't hear you. Maki smirks, getting back at Kokichi for his earlier teasing. Kokichi didn't appreciate it, however, as he shoots a glare at Maki, who continues to smirk. I'm waiting. Kokichi groans before she repeats. She played a song for me on stage. There, happy? Kokichi blushes from his head to his neck. Maki revels in the look, but is also interested in what was said. Oh, that was sweet of her. Kokichi sighs, trying to ease his beating heart. He smiles, however, at the memory. Yeah, it was. The piano playing for him that night still made his heart melt. It was rare for Kaede to use her status as a former ultimate pianist for selfish goals, but that night was worth it for both of them, for she got the jazz band to play along with her to him. Kaede never failed to steal his heart. Kokichi's smile fades as the memory leaves his mind, recalling Maki's teasing. You're so mean, Ma-chan, making me go through all that embarrassment. Maki only stares as she drinks her beer. You did the same to me. This causes Kokichi to stop crying, and any traces of tears had vanished. Yeah, I know, Kokichi says, as he resumes to drink his beer. Reminds me how Kaede wrote a song for you back in Hope Speak. Kokichi stops himself from spitting out the beer in his mouth. He couldn't stop the blush from resurfacing. Oh, you just have to bring that up, huh? The memory was still one of Kokichi's favorites. Well, it's true. She recalled how Shuichi would tell her about Kaede stressing out over the performance, him being one of the only few people to know about her plan. That night, she saw Kokichi shed real tears in public for all to see, causing shock to many. Well, I remember how Kaito made a whole birthday party for you. Maki covers her mouth from spitting out the food, resorting to drinking a glass of water to wash down the food. Kokichi giggles at having gotten back at Maki. Kaito had asked Kokichi for advice on what Maki would like to prepare for a birthday party. Despite his initial toying with him, such as making everything red and toy knives being involved, with a red and white cake, it still turned out successful, with Maki smiling. He caught a picture of Maki giving Kaito a kiss with icing on their faces. I still have the photo of you two kissing. Shut the fuck up or I'll tear your tongue out. Kokichi laughs out loudly, paying the threat no mind. Man, I still remember how much Kaito-chan bothered the fuck out of you. He was like your own personal idiot for a dog. Kaito had singled her out due to her isolating herself from the class. Many attempted to get her to come out, and many resulted in failures. However, over time she began to join in, at first to have Kaito stop bothering her, to over time genuinely wanting to spend time with others and slowly opening up. Kaito was her encouragement, motivating her to try and to come out of her shell. It was hard not to fall for him. Kaede never left you alone either. I still remember how persistent she was with you. It was the truth. For some odd reason, Kaede picked Kokichi to spend the most time with. Despite being able to get along with almost everyone in the class and her rapidly growing friendship with Shuichi and Kaito, she still chose Kokichi to associate with the most. She would always make sure he was included in class, despite his reputation as a prankster. Kokichi found her amusing and easy to tease. However, over time, he grew scared of her due to how close she was getting to him. He would prank her, ditch her, and try to scare her off, but no matter how much he tried, she kept coming back. He chose to be alone, but she wouldn't allow it. Over time, he grew to accept her, and eventually the two became inseparable. It was also both Kaede and Kaito who helped Kokichi and Maki make up and repair their broken relationship. Both were a blessing, despite how annoying they can be. A light to their darkness. They're alike, now that I think about it, Kokichi says out of the blue, looking down at his drink with a smile on his face and half-lidded eyes. Yeah, Maki agrees. Her eyes are also half-lidded as she holds her can of beer now, almost empty. And yet, they captured our hearts in the end. Kokichi doesn't bother to hide the blush, more present than red. Yep. Maki did not hide her blush either. Silence fell upon them as they reminisced on the past and appreciated their lovers. Both were reminded how much they loved their partners, how they changed their lives for the better, never leaving them when their sins were exposed for them to see, never leaving their side, no matter what. They were truly a blessing in their dark lives. The silence is broken as Kokichi heaves a loud sigh. Maki joins him as well, but more lowly. Man, that was enough embarrassment for today. Didn't mean to spill my guts out. Feels so icky now. Yuck! Kokichi exaggerates by sticking out his tongue. Maki chuckles, almost silently at his expression. You were the one who wanted to talk about love. She couldn't get rid of the smile on her face, even if she tried to. And now I deeply regret it. Why didn't you stop me? And you call yourself an honorary DICE member. I should fire you, you know. Kokichi rants as he points a finger at her. Yeah. Maki looks down at the table. 5 cans of empty beer sat on the table, as well as 3 empty bowls of snacks. Both were unaware of how much they consumed as they allowed themselves to get carried away by romantic nostalgia. Kokichi was the first to voice it out. Damn, we really drank our asses off, huh? Maki shakes her can, barely hearing the sloshing of liquid inside. Yep. She was glad both her and Kokichi had high alcohol tolerance, or both would have been down something embarrassing. And you said we wouldn't get drunk. Huh, never underestimate a former Ultimate Supreme Leader, Nishishi. Maki sighs as she opens another can of beer. Yeah, whatever. Hey, don't ignore me, you meanie. Kokichi once again cries out fake tears, only to have a can of beer land on his lap. Just shut up and drink, Ko-chan. Kokichi forgoes the fake crying for genuine laughter as he opens the can. They hear the door being unlocked before opening, marking an end to their beer snacking. I'm home! A male voice echoes through the house, easily recognized as Kaito's. A second later, a female joins after. Sorry for intruding. This causes Kokichi to become surprised. Kaede-chan? Kaito and Kaede walk into the living room, seeing Kokichi and Maki looking their way. Hey, you two. Sorry I'm late, Maki Roll. Kaede walls behind him, greeting them with a smile. Hi, Kokichi. Hi, Maki. Kaede readies herself, as a second later Kokichi throws himself at her, giving her a tight hug, which Kaede is more than happy to reciprocate. Kaede-chan! What are you doing here? She felt Kokichi rub his face against her chest, causing her to blush. She hoped neither Kaito nor Maki were looking at her funny, despite how common it was for Kokichi to give her public affection. Well, I ran into Kaito in my home. He invited me over knowing that you'd be here too. She presents a bag for him to see. I got you some sweets as well. I hope you like them. Kokichi lets go of Kaede as he grabs the bag of sweets from her. Yay! Thank you, sweetie. Kaede blushes embarrassed, yet happy at the nickname and appreciation from Kokichi. Just don't eat them all in one sitting. And make sure to brush your teeth, Kaede warns Kokichi, which he playfully scoffs at. Okay, Mom, I get it. Meanwhile, Kaito walks over to give Maki a side hug, which she allows with reddened cheeks. Hey, I'm Maki Roll. Again, sorry I'm late. Maki looks to the side, too embarrassed to make eye contact. It's fine. Welcome home. Kaito looks down at the table, his expression of shock showing. Wow, you two must have had a good time drinking as well, huh? Maki doesn't deny this. We were bored. Her answer caused Kaito to laugh. I feel ya. Kaede and I had stopped by Kirakyu's for snacks and beer as well. Maki squints at Kaito, holding her nose. I can tell. Make sure you take a bath, all right? You stink of booze and oil. Being called out, Kaito scratches the back of his head as he chuckles sheepishly. Hey, I had a hard day at work. Plus, it was good beer. Hearing this, Kaede laughs and says, He drank 4 cups of beer before I had to stop him. Maki gives Kaito a look of disapproval, to which Kaito looks away from. Ooh, Kaito-chan got busted. Kokichi mocks Kaito, which makes the astronaut miffed. Shut your mouth, you little gremlin. It was good beer. Kokichi laughs at Kaito, not scared by him. Kaede looks down at the table below. Wow, you two drank more than us. Maki looks at Kaede blankly at the mention. Like I told Kaito, we were bored. Kokichi hugs Kaede again and adds, Yep, we had nothing to do but snacks and talk about world domination and embarrassing secrets. Kaito scoffs at Kokichi's statement. Yeah, right, you liar. Kokichi merely laughs at being called out. Man, I'm still hungry. At the mention of hunger, Kokichi's eyes twinkled. I was just about to suggest making dinner. I'll go get started. Without waiting for objections, Kokichi dashes into the kitchen, leaving everyone in the living room. It takes Kaito a few seconds to realize what Kokichi was going to do before rushing after him. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not going to let you spike my food again with whatever you find. Kokichi's laughter can be heard afterwards. Kaede laughs as Maki stares stoically as she murmurs out, Idiots. Clanging of dishes can be heard in the kitchen as Kaito yells and Kokichi laughs. Well, let's go make sure they don't destroy the kitchen. I am wondering what Kokichi will make. Kaede smiles, her positive demeanor never fading. Maki sighs as she agrees with her. Yeah, better make sure the idiots don't cause any dangers in the house. The 2 girls walk to the kitchen, ready to stop the boys from fighting and help with the cooking. Despite the chaos, the house was lively that evening.